We've got a whole bunch of books to go through, friends, so I'm gonna try and make this one a quick one. Hi friends, welcome. So today I have a book haul for all of you. Me and my family are currently in Tennessee. We were here for vacation. We absolutely love it here. It's like our third time here, and it's just a home away from home. And yeah, so we have two favorite places that we like to go to. One is McKay's, and then the book Moon Pie General Store / Book Warehouse. McKay's is like a used shop where you can, there's like books, which is what we go for, but then there's also like pop figures and movies and electronics and all that stuff. It's amazing. It's in Knoxville, the one that we go to, and the prices there are absolutely great. And then my favorite is the Book Warehouse. It's on Parkway here in Pigeon Forge. It's the Moon Pie General Store and the Book Warehouse. They're both like one shop together, and they have a huge Christian fiction section because it is like a Christian owned company or store, and I go bonkers in there. That's like where the majority of my books are from, because I was on the hunt for a bunch of books. All these books are like ones that are on my want to read list, except for some that I found at McKay's. I'm excited to share all of these with you. I am out here on the balcony at our beautiful cabin. You can see some of the Great Smokies behind us. It is gorgeous here, so you might hear some sounds in the background because there's like roads and stuff, but hopefully you mostly hear bird song and the wind in the trees, because it's just God's love to us, so I absolutely love it. But I'm excited to share all of them with you. I'm going to try and go through it quickly because I think I totaled 44 books this trip, so quite a lot of books, but I'm very excited for all of them. So let's go ahead and get into the books. I'm going to start with the books from McKay's. 11 books here from McKay's, so let's go ahead and start. So the first book I got is Sons of Blackbird Mountain. I got this for $8.50. Oh, books there, you can get some that are like literally 50 cents or $1 and they're in great condition, but I think, some of them they do price, I think, like newer ones a little bit higher, so I think since a lot of these are kind of more newer, that's why they're a bit priced higher. But anyway, Sons of Blackbird Mountain by Joanne Bischoff. I am excited about this book. This was on my want to read list, so I picked this one up. All I know is there's like a farm, 19th century Appalachia, apples, sounds good to me. I got that. Then I got Hearts Entwined. This is a historical romance novella collection. There's a story from Karen Whitmire, Mary Connolly, Regina Jennings, and then Melissa Jagers. I think this cover is so cute, by the way. I really think it's adorable. Wasn't looking for this one, but it sounded interesting, so I picked it up. You have the love knot, the tangled ties that bind, bound and determined, and tied and true. So I'm excited for these. I love me some Western historical romances. Then I got Cross My Heart by Robin Lee Hatcher. I read my first Robin Lee Hatcher book, I think it was in February. I loved it. It was a 4-star book for me, and so when I found this one, I had to get it because it's basically all about horses, about romance, and there's like I think the main girl is starting an equine therapy barn, and then the guy is on his great-great-grandfather's farm, a horse rescue farm. So I had to get this because I love horses. I actually went on a trail ride this trip and it was amazing, so I'm excited for this book. Then I got Whose Waves These Are by Amanda Dykes. I think this cover is pretty as well. I have a couple of her books on my shelf. I've yet to read one of them, to be honest, but I found this at McKay's for like $3, so I had to get it. Then I got Distant Echoes by Colleen Coble. I'm very excited about this one. There are dolphins and it's a romantic suspense. I'm excited. I've read one of her books too. It wasn't like my favorite, but she has a ton of books, so I'm willing to give them all a try. So for this one, just sounded really cool because there's like dolphins in it. And I got The Lost Castle by Christy Camburn. I'm excited because I was on the hunt for this one and I got it for $7.50, so that's pretty good. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this one. I read The Italian Ballerina by her. I loved that book. I believe I gave that one 5 stars, or it was a 4.5. I don't know, but I enjoyed it and I'm really looking forward to this series. I know they're like set in Ireland. I'm pretty sure, at least I know one of them is. Let me see. Ellie Carver arrives at her grandmother's bedside, expecting to find her silently slipping away. Instead, the beloved woman begins speaking of a secret past and castle ruins forgotten by time, of a hidden chapel that served as a rendezvous for the French resistance in World War II, of lost love and deep regret. Each piece that unlocks the story seems to unlock part of Ellie too, where she came from and who she is becoming. For her grandmother is quickly disappearing into the shadows of Alzheimer's, and Ellie must act fast if she wants to uncover the truth of her family's history. Drawn by the mysteries surrounding the Sleeping Beauty, a castle so named for Charles Perrault's beloved fairy tale, Ellie embarks on a journey to France's Loire Valley in hopes that she can unearth its secrets before time silences them forever. Bridging the past to the present in 3 time periods, the French Revolution, World War II, and present day, The Lost Castle is a story of loves won and lost, of battles waged in hearts of men, and of an enchanted castle that stood witness to it all, inspiring a legacy of faith through the generations. Okay, so, still sounds amazing. So this one's not set in Ireland, but I believe the second one in this series is set in Ireland. But this one still sounds amazing. I'm excited to read this. I was a little sad because I also was looking for The Ringmaster's Wife that's also by Christy Camburn, and it's on my want to read list, and they did have it at McKay's. It was $5.50, but the book itself was like in $1 condition, and I just couldn't bring myself to spend $5 when it was like pretty beaten up. I mean, I know that's like what you go to a used bookstore for, but because of how beaten up it was and it was $5, I was like, and like this one is $7.50 and this is in great condition, but the $5.50 one was like pages curled, spine broken, missing part of the cover. It was kind of disappointing. But so I didn't get that book at all because I didn't have it at the other store as well, but it is what it is. Then this one was a find for me. I've never heard of this one, but it sounded really good. This is A Refuge Assured, I believe that's what it is, by Jocelyn Green. This cover is really pretty. So it's a spine. Don't know anything about this book, but it sounded really good, so I picked it up. Then I found Princess Academy by Shannon Hale in their middle grade section. I've been wanting to read this series and I loved this cover, and it was $2.75 in great condition, so I had to get it. I found A Life Once Dreamed by Rachel Fordham. Hope's Highest Mountain. This is by Misty M. Beller. This is Hearts of Montana Book 1. I'm excited to give this one a try. They had the whole trilogy, but I didn't want to get the whole trilogy just in case I end up not liking this one. Oh, and then this one was also a mystery find for me. Never heard of these books, but I had to get it. It was $3. This is Freedom's Bell by Diane Crawford. This is actually set here in Tennessee. Romance book. I'm excited for this one, and I think the cover is really pretty. There's like horses on it. Love it. Last book I found at McKay's was Love Comes Softly by Jeanette Oak. I actually have read this whole series by Jeanette Oak, and I have them all in this edition, but the first book was eaten by my lovely dogs, so I've been on the hunt for this edition, and I found it, so I got it, and now my collection is complete of this series. Really recommend this series if you love historical romances, especially set during like 1800 pioneer times. We follow Marty, who is traveling west with her new husband, and while they're traveling her husband is killed, and so she's kind of left alone all by herself, and then this guy, Clark, comes along who recently lost his wife, and he has a 1-year-old daughter, and he's needing a new mom for them because that's just how those times worked. And so he offers marriage for her, a marriage to her, and so she could have a home, and his daughter could have a mom. And then it just goes from there, and there's a whole series on it following their life and their love and their journey. And I adore this series. I recommend it so much. It's full of faith. It's like one of my favorite series ever. So okay guys, so that was books from the K's. Now it's time to get into the rest of the books from the Book Warehouse. So also, one of my favorite things that totally sells it at this Book Warehouse is a lot of their books you will find like they're on sale for, they have a sticker that they're on sale for like $8.99 instead of the full price. Because sometimes like this book that I got had like a marker on it. I don't know why, but then that means the book is marked down to $8.99. So some of their books might just have like this little marker on the bottom, which totally doesn't ruin the rest of the book. Is in great condition, but they mark it down lower because of that. Even book prices here in Tennessee are cheaper than where I live in Florida. So like even like a regular paperback book is like $16, whereas back home it's like $20. So it just, take my money, give me the books, okay? Anyway, let's go ahead. The first book I got is Until Leaves Fall in Paris. This is by Sarah Dundon. I got this one for $9 just because it has a little bit of marker on the bottom. But I'm excited for this book. The main character is an American ballerina. Absolutely love that because I love dancing. In Paris, there's war, bookstore. Sounds good, so I got it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this find. I got 3 Jamie Jo Wright books that I have yet to read, and they were all only $9. And 2 of them, I can absolutely find nothing wrong with them, except this one does have the marker on the bottom. But they were on sale, and I was like, give me them, because I love Jamie Jo Wright's books. I've read, I think, 2 of them so far, and so I'm excited to add these ones to my shelf. So I got The House on Foster Hill, The Curse of Misty Wayfair, and On the Cliffs of Foxglove Manor. Then I found 2 books by Joanna. Oh! Sorry, this one is from McKay. It was not in my McKay pile, but this is by Joanna Davidson Politano. This is The Love Note. I'm excited about this one. I have another one of her books on my shelf, but I've yet to read it, but all of her books sound great. And then at the Book Warehouse, I found The Lost Melody. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm probably going to read it fairly soon. This one, I think she's sent to an asylum. That intrigued me very much. Then I got The Moonlight School by Suzanne Woods Fisher. Oh, this one was a random find. I was not looking for this book, but this is Into the Free by Julie. Sorry, it's in cursive and I can't understand it. Julie, let me look at the inside. Julie Cantrell? I think that's an A. I don't know, but it sounds super good. It's in the Depression era in Mississippi. Oh, this is what intrigued me. The main character is like running away from her abusive father, and she turns the gypsies in a caravan. That sounds so interesting to me, so I had to pick this up because I want to know what happens. So I'm so excited for this is Stay With Me by Becky Wade. This is the first book in the Misty River Romance series. Then I'm so excited for this one. This is like absolutely one I wanted to find. This is Where the Road Bends by Rachel Fordham. This cover is stunning. This was a random find as well. This is not a book I was looking for, but I picked it up because of the cover. This is 9 by Rachel Decker. Listen to this. Zoe Johnson has spent most of her life living in the shadows, never drawing attention to herself, never investing in people or places. But when a wide-eyed, bedraggled teenager with no memory walks into the diner where Zoe works, everything changes. Against her better judgment, Zoe, who has been trying to outrun her own painful memories of the past, finds herself attempting to help a girl who doesn't seem to have any past at all. With little warning, they must follow the only sure thing they know. A woman hundreds of miles away will either save them or be the last person to see them alive. This just sounds so good and I need to know what happens, so I picked this one up. Then I got 2 books by T. Cooper. There was one book from her that was on my want to read list on Goodreads. They did not have that one, but they had these 2 and they sounded really good, so I got them. I got The Woman in the Green Dress and then The Cartographer's Secret. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word correctly, but I'm very excited for all of these. I think they're all set in Australia because I think the author, let me see, because I believe T. Cooper is, yes, she is an established Australian author of historical fiction. Oh my gosh. In a past life, she was a teacher, a journalist, and a farmer. These days, she haunts museums and indulges her passion for storytelling. I'm excited. I love Australia. Never been there, but that's like one of my dream places I want to go to. And so I'm excited to read Christian fiction set in Australia and historical fiction. Sign me up. Then I got If the Boot Fits. This is by Karen Whitmire. This is the second book in the Texas Ever After series. I have the first book. I have yet to read it, but it is on my TBR coming up very shortly, so I'm excited. This one is a Cinderella like sort of retelling, but they're set in Texas, historical fiction, and with Western vibes. This one was also a random pick, was not one that I was looking for, but I had to get it. It's 4 puzzling cozy mysteries. This is called Missing Pieces. We have stories by Cynthia Hickey, Linda Baton Johnson, Teresa Ives, Lily, and Janice Thompson. Each story is like a mystery. There's like a murder mystery, but each one is like set during like a puzzle competition, which is really interesting. I enjoy puzzles, and I enjoy good mystery, so this just really caught my attention. Then I picked up The Healing of Natalie Curtis by Jane Kirkpatrick. I actually saw this one last year when I was at the book warehouse, and I didn't get it, but it was still there and I had to pick it up because it just sounds super interesting. Classically trained pianist and singer Natalie Curtis can't seem to recapture the joy that music once brought her. In 1902, her brother invites her to join him in the West to search for healing. What she finds are songs she never before encountered, haunting melodies, rhythms, and stories of Native Americans. But their music is under attack. The U.S. government's Code of Offenses prohibits America's indigenous people from singing, dancing, or speaking their own languages. Natalie makes it her mission not only to document these songs before they disappear, but to appeal to President Teddy Roosevelt himself, who is the only man with the power to repeal the unjust law. Award-winning author Jane Kirkpatrick weaves a lyrical novel based on a true story that captivates to the very end. I'm very excited to give this book a read. It sounds so intriguing, and I want to know what it's all about. Okay guys, we got a couple more books to go through. And then I got An Appalachian Summer. This is by Anne H. Gabhart. This was also a random find that I had to pick up. It's set in the Appalachian Mountains, and it's set in 1933 Louisville, Kentucky. This is what really signed me up. Is it says when Piper gets the opportunity to volunteer as a horseback frontier nursing courier in the Appalachian Mountains for the summer, she jumps at the chance. So I need to read it just for that purpose. So I got that. Okay guys, this one has a cute little story. So I was in there taking my sweet time in the aisles, and this cute older lady, she just started, like, I don't know what she did, but we started talking a little bit, and she recommended this trilogy by Terry Blackstock, and I passed it, but it just wasn't one that I picked up to read the back of. But she was like, you have to read it. It was so good. I like read 3 books in like a week or something like that, and she went ahead and brought it to me, and so I got the first book. It's If I Run by Terry Blackstock, and boy, I'm so excited to read this, and I'm so excited that like we had that encounter and she recommended this to me, because it does sound really good, and it's one that I just passed by and didn't even pick up to read the back of it. I'm just gonna read the first sentence because honestly that's all I needed to pick this book up. Casey Cox's DNA is all over the crime scene. Okay, put it in my cart. I need to know what happens. Then I got The Lady of Galway Manor by Jennifer Tybal. Her books are like set in Ireland, so I'm really excited to give it a try because I love Ireland and I've heard great things about her books. I got 3 books by Elizabeth Goddard. Elizabeth Goddard? Is that how you say her last name? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. This one is set in Alaska. I have a love for Alaska. I want to go there so badly, so I'm so excited to read a Christian fiction suspense book set there. Then I got 2 of the first books to her other like series that she had. So I got Never Let Go. This is the first book in the Uncommon Justice series, and then Present Danger, which is the first book in the Rocky Mountain Courage series. So I'm excited. They're all like set in the mountains and they're suspense, so sign me up. Next, I got The Nature of a Lady. This is by Rosanna M. White. This sounds so interesting. Let me read the back of this one for you guys. Lady Elizabeth Libby Sinclair, with her love of microscopes and nature, isn't favored in society. She flees to the beautiful Isles of Sicily for the summer and stumbles onto the dangerous secrets left behind by her holiday cottage's former occupant, also named Elizabeth, who mysteriously vanished. Oliver Tremaine, gentleman and clergyman, is determined to discover what happened to his sister by the help of the girl now living in what should have been Beth's summer cottage, especially when he realizes it's the curious young lady he met briefly 2 years ago, who shares his love of botany and biology. But the hunt for his sister involves far more than nature walks, and he can't quite believe all the secrets Beth had been keeping from him. As Libby and Oliver work together, they uncover ancient legends, pirate wrecks, betrayal, and the most mysterious phenomenon of all, love. This just sounds so cool. I love books that just have like nature in them and pirate wrecks. I don't know. I want to know all about it. Then I got 3 books by Mary Connolly. I actually just finished my first book from her on this trip. It was Chasing the Horizon. It was the first book to her new trilogy this year, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 stars. It wasn't like the best book I've ever read, but I did enjoy it really much, and I'm excited to give more of her books a try. They have all of like the cowboy, country living, western pioneer vibes, so I'm excited. I got the first book to 3 different series of hers. I got the first book in the Wyoming Sunrise. This is Forged in Love. Then I got Tried and True. This is the first book to the Wild at Heart series. And then Aiming for Love, which is the first book of Brides of Hope Mountain. Staying on the theme of cowboys, I got At Love's Command by Karen Whitmire. This is the first book of Hanger's Horseman. I saw a lot of good reviews on this, and it sounds really good and has a cowboy on the cover, so. Okay guys, I'm so excited for these next 2 books. I got the first 2 books in the Timeless series. So I got When the Day Comes and In This Moment, and these are by Gabrielle Meyer. I am so excited for these books. So what you're following, I think each book is a different girl, but basically what happens in the book is, in this book you're following Libby, and she has the powerful gift to live one life in 1774 colonial Williamsburg and the other in 1914 Gilded Age New York. When she falls asleep in one life, she wakes up in the other. While she's the same person at her core in both times, she's leading 2 vastly different lives. And then I believe she, like on her 21st birthday, she must choose one path and forfeit the other. But how can she choose when she has so much to lose in each life? And I think they're romance books, so I think like each story, like each life, there's a different romance. These are giving me kind of a little bit of like Outlander vibes, and I personally, due to my convictions, don't read or watch Outlander, but I love the premise of it. So I'm excited to like kind of like read a Christian fiction that kind of has a little bit of the same like story vibe to it. Okay, next up we have Remember Me by Tracy Peterson. Let me go ahead and read it back to you guys because it's short. Addie Bryant is haunted by her passive heartbreak and betrayal. After her beau, Isaac Hansen, left the Yukon, she made a vow to wait for him. When she's sold to a brothel owner after the death of her father, Addie manages to escape with the hope that she could forever hide her past in the belief that she will never have the future she's always dreamed of. Years later, Addie has found peace in her new life as a photographer, training camera girls to operate and sell the Brownie camera. During the Alaska Yukon Pacific Expo in Seattle, Addie is reunited with Isaac, but after the path her life has taken, she's afraid to expose the ugliness of her former life and move toward the future they had pledged to each other. When her past catches up with her, Addie must decide whether to run or to stay and face her wounds in order to embrace her life, her future, and her hope in God. It sounds so intriguing. I'm guessing the majority is set in Yukon. If not, the plot just sounds really intriguing. Okay, hopefully the wind is not picking up on the microphone and muffling my voice, but I got The Beautiful Pretender by Melanie Dickerson. This is the second book in a medieval fairy tale. I have like all of her series on my want to read list. Sadly, McKay's or the Book General store didn't have a lot of her books. This was the only, I didn't find any at McKay's, and this was the only one they had at the general store. So I was a bit disappointed in that. But I picked this one up, and then I ordered the first book to this series on Pango, so that should be at my house when we get home. So I'm excited because I'm really craving like medieval vibes in my like medieval tales, so in like kind of like fantasy set books, and I believe her books will do it for me. Oh my gosh, the wind just knocked all of my books over. No. Okay, the last book, and this one actually is from McKay's, but it was not in my McKay pile, but this one is Love Finds You in Camelot, Tennessee. I had to get this obviously because it's set in Tennessee. It's just like a romance book set in Tennessee, so I had to pick it up. Okay guys, that was all the books I got here in Tennessee. I'm very excited for all of these books. I can't wait to like read them and talk to you guys about them. Let me know if any of these books you've read and what your thoughts are, what your thoughts were on them, or if any of these books you like never heard about but now you want to read them. Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and I'll see you all, Lord willing, on the next one. Bye y'all.